Hey, that's a lot of Bollatta. Well, hello, friends, and welcome back to Bollatta-FIDE, your one and only pod for events and entertainment. I'm Antoine Bollatta, Anthony Bollatta.
And I'm Alexia Cristina Postelidis.
Well, hello, Alexia Cristina Postelidis.
Ticanis, Calimera.
I don't know. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Always that.
Always.
Always yes. Always. So, as you can see, we've changed it up a bit here.
We hope you don't mind.
We're trying to make these episodes a little bit shorter.
Yes.
If somebody here would just not speak so much, I don't know who it is. We also hope to give you more pointed discussions about topics that impact those of us in the live event and hospitality communities.
And opportunities to meet more of our artists and musicians, one of whom will join us on camera right here in our SoCal-based offices in just a moment.
Wow! I just felt that.
I love it when you feel things.
Right here.
Right here.
It's good right now. Well, in a minute.
In a minute.
But voiced. Our word of the week.
Ooh.
Words. They either confuse and confound.
Or delightfully detail.
But we can't deny the power of words to set a vision in motion.
And inspire people to action.
The broader our vocabulary, the better our use of words, the better chance we have of getting people to listen and pay attention.
With that in mind, we present our word of the week.
The word of the week is kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle. Spell it.
Kerfuffle. Kerfuffle. Kerfuffle.
Define it.
Kerfuffle. A commotion or fuss. Kerfuffle.
Now use it in a sentence correctly, please.
I shall now use it in a sentence correctly. Kerfuffle. If you don't give your vendors a proper schedule for setup, you will surely bumfuzzle them and cause them to create a kerfuffle. Something that will surely drown your dreams of success. Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's something to avoid. It is something to avoid. Kerfuffles.
Okay.
They can be small.
Yes.
They can be big. But they're usually never good. So
No.
if you can avoid the kerfuffle, you avoid the kerfuffle. Right. Oh, also, avoid saying kerfluffle.
Kerfluffle. That's hard to say.
It's hard. It's harder. It's another letter, right? Another L. And it just makes it sound weird, like kerfluffle. So, tell us what you think of the word kerfuffle, or send us a message about a kerfuffle that you saw or started. Or while you do that, by the way, you can do that at Bollatta.com/podcast. Also, just hit that like button, that notification button, and also that subscribe button. There's a lot of buttons. I think there's a lot of buttons. Hit them all.
All of them.
All of them. Just when in doubt, hit the button. Okay, come back. Okay, but before you go away, we want to introduce somebody that's coming up.
Yes, we do. We have an amazingly talented multi-instrumentalist artist who is able to seamlessly create these curated event experiences. Please, please, please help us welcome Ben Betts. Our guest today is a multi-instrumentalist who uses steel drums, guitar, bass, live looping techniques, and vocals to create seamless, curated event experiences. Please welcome Ben Betts.
Thank you for having me, Anthony, Alex.
Hi,
I really
Ben.
appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure. This is beautiful here. You're right downtown. Yeah.
Close to it.
In this beautiful stone building.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. It's great being here. We spent some time in North Park and spent some time in Mission Valley. I was in Mission Valley for a while. We spent some time actually right down the block, which a lot of people don't know about.
So I only know of the two.
We've made our way around the block.
You have
around a few blocks.
Yeah, don't let it get old. Keep moving.
Exactly. You got to keep it fresh. Right.
Are you running from somebody or something? Just know if I need to make a quick exit.
No.
Knock at the door.
No, I didn't change cities or locations. I just,
Anthony's your real name.
Anthony's my real name. Is Ben your real name?
It's my real name. Yeah.
Is Ben Betts your real name?
Right? It's my real name.
It's not been shortened.
No, I haven't abbreviated it actually. Yeah.
Wow.
It starts with my grandmother Betsy Betts, the ultimate Betts. And then
Betsy Betts,
Brad Betts, Brooks Betts, Ben Betts.
It's a great name.
It's a lot of BBs in this family.
A lot of BBs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Well, she's an AA.
I am.
You are an AA.
Yeah, I am an AB.
An AB.
So we make it all, full circle. We need a BA.
I think I'm O positive also.
Are you really?
Yeah. Universal donor?
I think I'm positive this is going nowhere fast. That's what I'm positive about. So, you are an intriguing performer because of the instruments that you play and what you bring to the world of events, which is terrific, by the way. And one thing that caught my eye when I was looking at your promotional materials, even before we knew who you were, was this idea of performance flow. Yeah,
okay.
I was really captured by that because we're all about flow in this world. It's about meeting the fluidity, the needs of the event, whatever those needs are from a fluidity point of view, right? And when we started this business, it was when I started this business, it was about teaching and guiding the musicians to understand why the traditional 45 play 15-minute break wouldn't necessarily work for an event. So we immediately need to negotiate with them how their breaks would occur to ensure they had them. And then counseling them to ensure that they carried break music when they came, so the air wasn't, empty.
Right. Maintain the vibe, maintain the atmosphere.
Right.
I'm thinking about that constantly.
Yeah.
I think it comes from focusing on everything I do as being an improviser and always saying, okay, what is happening here? What is the goal here? Like, I'm not just working, or I'm not just trying to finish the song. I'm trying to kind of make people believe that they're somewhere else. And I totally agree. I think about this all the time. I'll bring lights and I'll bring plants, and like plants are great for the steel drum because they'll just say, oh yeah, I'm in the islands, And even when I don't bring that, people hear it down the street, they're like, I couldn't believe it. I thought I heard steel drums, and then you're here, And that's been like the word that I get since I was a kid playing on the streets was like, I just can't believe this is here. And it took me away, and I was on my vacation, on my honeymoon or something like that. And that was the feedback I got. And I was like, okay, this is like an illusion, where it's really transporting people. And how can I make that even more real, And so I've been trying to focus on what other sensory things can I include to really build up this illusion that we're somewhere else, and that these feelings you're having are you should bring them into the present and really feel them, and not just be like, like, let's live it right now. This feeling is real. It's great work. I still feel it. I don't think I've grown callous to it, even though I perform like the steel drums a lot. I still am like, yeah, this is really relaxing,
Your audiences will always be different, even when they're the same. You might do 5 or 10 weddings, and they might be the same, but those clients will be different, and they'll have different tastes. And that's got to drive you, the idea that you have a different palette to please every time that you perform.
I think I'm obsessed with that part. I spend a lot of the time in advance, especially for weddings, being like, okay, what is the goal here? What's the bride's favorite music? What's the groom's favorite music? And I'll pretty much write a set list for every gig, and I'll probably try and learn 10 songs at the least, and which is just always a positive addition to my set list, and it's just always growing. But I really want it to feel like I am not a stranger at someone's wedding. I want it to feel like, how does he know? This is the exact music I was feeling when we first met or something. And so I try to draw that out when we set up the gig, basically. And because I've been at events where I am the stranger. I've been doing the steel drum since I was 16, and so you learn quickly, like, that you don't just walk up to somebody and say, "You must be the grandfather," and they're like, "No, I'm the brother." Many instances of that, and I'm like, okay, like, don't make any assumptions. Like, let's get some information on these people and become friends, do phone calls, in emails, and just, I don't know, make it real and sincere, and make the sensation of a transaction happening as far from this as possible, basically, and say, I will make this event my North Star for the next few weeks, and I will do everything I can to make it happen. It's very exciting, and I love it. I do love it. So,
what's really amazing for me, and I say this particularly about the steel drums, is I do sound healing. That's, with bowls and everything like that. There is a vibrational frequency to the steel drums that are unlike any other kind of instrumentation. So when I'm listening to you play, I actually feel, because of the nature of the sound, calmer, happier, peaceful. I don't understand how you can listen to steel drums and not instantly be put in a good mood. There is just something about the frequency of them.
There's a reason why cruise ships use them and put them and have the musician out playing the steel drum on the first night of a cruise, because it soothes you and instantly deports you or brings you to another place, and you feel instantly ready to just relax. It's
even
really cool.
When it's a party atmosphere, even when it's lively and energetic, it still does soothe your soul.
I approach music from a very concrete point of view. I have such a small relationship with music as a therapy, in the sense where I wouldn't use the word like vibration in my vocabulary, in the sense that it's like, it's the 432 in versus 440. It's never been, I just haven't been shown that, and so I think of it as like, it literally makes me feel happy, and that is the therapy in it, is that it literally, and it's less magical. I might even point to intervals and chords on the steel drum that I know creates a certain feeling, and so maybe I to a non-musician that sounds the same as saying it's vibration, but I'm also like, no, I think there's like real things that you can connect. It's like musical acupuncture almost, where you can say, this corresponds to there, and this interval corresponds to this part of your emotions. And
happy chords.
Yeah, right? Happy chords, happy plots that take you here and then they take you here. And maybe it's just for the escape. For someone hiring a steel drummer, they just say, I just want to escape for 2 hours. Maybe it's that. It depends on what they're listening with, but I'm trying to provide a space where a journey can happen, And I guess that is music sound healing, it is.
Well, it is, because it's all within the sound therapy. It is all about intervals, musical intervals, and certain intervals will help create, soothe, relax, and heal.
I want to become more familiar, because it's I feel like a musical atheist almost, where I'm like, where's the vibration?
But I think even that knowledge aside, being aware of what audiences want, or even just being curious about what the audiences want that you play for, that alone already puts you at a level that a lot of people don't get to. because and no fault, but the focus is on themselves. What they can get out of it, what they'll learn, what the experience will mean for them. Whereas you approach it the opposite way. Not to say that you're not looking to get something out of it for yourself, because quite frankly, in this world, you have to, or you won't. But that's not what you project when you're working with people. And that's the beauty of what you do. You project your focus and your interest right onto them. You want to know all about them so that you can surprise them when you're playing with music that you know they're going to recognize, that's familiar to them, that's going to spark something in them that they didn't necessarily know was coming. And that is the beauty of how you handle your performances. And that's the beauty of performance flow. I love your interpretation of it. And I applaud you for that, because so often we think about it from our point of view. You are thinking about the event and how what you are going to bring to it and how you can enhance it. And that is applaudable. And for you, it's just a way. Look at, he's just looking at me like, that's
Thank
natural,
you for saying that.
right?
Yes,
it's just how I do it, right? But it's a very unique way to handle your business. And that's honestly the difference between being successful and getting more gigs and being somebody that people want to work with and not.
I appreciate what you're saying. I think like the surprise element, it's very easy for me to slip into a place where I'm like, everyone knows this thing I'm doing. They all know steel drums. This is an old trick. You got to learn something new, you know? And it's like, I go out and I see a band and I'm like, I didn't know that was possible. Like that you could sing like that, or you could drum like that, or that the wall of sound could pass through your body like neutrons. You know, it's like, this is powerful stuff. And the element of surprise is like a substance of hope, where it says, don't forget that your understanding of the world is finite and it needs to be shaken up frequently, or else you do lose hope. I don't know what I would do if I had not gone this direction and done something other than music, because if I go on a trip and I don't have space to take a guitar or a beat machine or something just to play with, I start to feel very, very upset and just be like, oh, well, am I even a musician? You know, like where was that? And if I am not tapping into it every day, it's immediately I feel the drain, and the world starts creeping in, you know? And then I'll do a good gig where it's like, this is what it's about. And it just fuels the soul so deeply. I have very many times walked home from gigs and just had like tears, and I'm just like, oh, I could die tomorrow. This is what it's about, you know? And just feeling that and saying, don't forget, like, you to always have goals, but don't forget to say, this is the point, you know, this is the goal right here. That post-show feeling, especially, and every stage getting to that, you know. Even after shows that didn't go so well, I still have to be like, I'll listen to the recording and I'll be like, okay, you know, why did I feel so, like, maybe I feel shy, or maybe I feel I'm really worried about the low end being too boomy and people can't talk, and I get distracted and I'm like, okay, but listen to the recording. People are talking, they're singing along, they're dancing, and they're not thinking like a sound guy the entire time, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And getting too hung up on things like that, it's just about learning, and it's okay to feel bad after some gigs, you know?
Somebody who studied audio design, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Right. Not just a musician, but a musician who studied audio design.
Yeah.
And that's important because you're listening to it from that perspective with that ear. And I think you're always going to find deficiencies, places where things can be better, especially in our event world, because it's fast up, fast down, right? It's in and out. You got to set up, you got to play, you got to go. And you don't always have time. It's not like you're going back to the same venue every single night and you have time to tweak and, adjust to the sound. You don't really.
It's never enough time.
It's never. And it's always going to change, right? And you might even get to the same venue 3 times and think, great, but every time you're somewhere else in the venue at a different spot, right? So it's just one of the things that being so perfectionist about sound that you sort of learn to deal with. It's never going to be as perfect as it can be, but does the audience even notice?
Right.
Your ear, your ability to hear is elevated. And it's important to understand that and be your own critic because you always want to be better, right? But understand that the audience isn't hearing you at the same level and that as long as they're happy and enjoying the vibe and not giving you any signs that it's too loud, if you look out, you can tell if you observe, right?
It's amazing what you can read a big room of a sea of people and you can look at all their eyebrows and their faces and it's so clear. Or you can say, hey, there's a bubble forming of space around me. Maybe I'm a bit too loud, You want people to feel like they can come up to you in the front space of the speakers as well as hear you in the back. And that's where if you're self-contained music, bringing the speakers, you have to know how this works. Because it's so important that your sound is distributed.
Right.
And I don't know, like every room is so different. You have to enjoy it, because it can be very stressful dealing in warehouses or places on the coast or next to a train station. It's like all these different places have a lot of different elements.
Right.
And fortunately, I enjoy that part. And I'll be researching a space. As soon as I get a gig, I'll be like, okay, how big is it? What are the ceilings like? Is there like curtains? Is there not? And all that is important. And it's very fun. And I like the element of being like, okay, I have spares of all my wires and I have all these things that could go wrong. And I've had it all go wrong. So I know it now. You know what to prepare for.
Right.
But that's why you got to start young too, because you can be a 16-year-old playing for someone's 5-year-old's birthday and you learn in those moments.
Well, and you're learning. And so would you say that now when you approach a job, you go over prepared and have more than you need?
Yeah.
And you're not kicking yourself for doing that, right? You're not saying, oh, shoot, I brought more than I needed. Oh, darn, next time I'm not going to do that. But you feel a sense of preparedness, right? You're ready for anything.
You have to be. I've had these very serious events where I'm like, okay, these people are just here to have dinner and talk and then leave. And then they're like, hey, can we put a playlist on? And it's like EDM. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad I brought my subwoofer because we're playing EDM now out of the speakers. And thank goodness I have that subwoofer, even though most of these corporate events, you don't need a subwoofer blasting.
No.
It's like, but you got to have it just in case. And those things are huge,
Do you find that I don't want to use the word over-preparedness, but I'm going to say it, but also helps you relax and enjoy what you're doing more?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, definitely.
You know you've got it covered.
So I can think about levels and I can think about, I don't know.
You can be present.
I can be present because I also have to play the music and be sincerely
engaged.
Yeah,
right.
I don't want to be like, okay, just press copy paste. Each gig is, even if I'm abiding a set list, I'm improvising my way through the set list. And, if I'm singing, I think people can tell if you're just reciting lyrics versus if you're saying that happened. You have to imagine a time that lyric happened to you and then you sing with that emotion. And I don't know, what's a good one? Like In My Life by the Beatles.
Beautiful song.
You have to feel that song or else you're not doing it.
Right.
If you're not tell the story.
Right.
Yeah. You have to believe it so that people will believe you. And I'll cry when I play that song. So it's like, it's such a emotional business.
Right. But what's so beautiful, and I know Anthony, you'll agree with me on this, I would rather see the raw emotion I would even rather your voice crack a little when
Mhm.
you're singing that because you're relating and telling that story than hear a perfectly balanced vocal segment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want your vulnerability.
And I'm not quite sure because I haven't seen you play live,
Mhm.
but I'm assuming no music. Do you play with music?
Backing tracks, you mean?
No, I mean with your face in music. And
Oh no, yeah, it's all stored, and I think I just maybe it's because I started doing it young. I think you learn how to store information where the chord progressions and the lyrics and the keys and you compartmentalize things, and that makes it really nice because I'll take songs. I'll be like, what is the element besides the lyrics that makes this song, the hook? Like you can imagine in Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, it's the drum beat. When that bass part happens, it goes dun 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 dun. And in the second verse, they do that, little things like that, and you're like, wow, they've been so careful in producing this song. And then you can bring that into a different style. You could add some swing and make it jazzy, and then still do that. And then it's like, whoa, it's got a different shade and a different flavor, but it still has the core of the song that makes me like it. It's very fun because there's no one really expecting what you're going to do. So the more you can surprise them with genre fusion and with stylistic choices, then it's just infinite. I always run into this where I'm like, it's not gear. Gear is not my problem. It's ideas. I just have to keep being very diligent about thinking and having good ideas because you should be able to convey musicality with 2 sticks and a bucket. You should be able to. It's nice to have gear, but
we've seen it done.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've seen it done.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your ideas won't run dry if you keep your eyes and your ears open, and it sounds like you do, because the world will give you infinite clues about what you can put together, and your own experience will guide you.
Yeah.
Having a baby, you have a baby now, you and your wife, right?
My wife, Lindsay, my daughter, Delilah.
Delilah, great name. Love the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
know we knew that going into it, it would come up a lot, but we're like, it's a good song, you know?
It's a good song. It's a great name.
And we all play music together and we'll improvise. We'll sing and improvise lyrics. And it's just it's homestead music when we're at home playing, you know?
Has having a child changed the way that you view music, or
yes,
brought you closer to a style of music that you didn't otherwise know or care about?
Naturally, there's a much bigger space for soothing and beautiful music. Like, I don't think I was drawn to play what is it, Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton?
Yeah.
And suddenly that song is the only song I want to play when I'm at home, you know? Because it's just so beautiful and it's so sincere. Songs like that just encapsulate all of life in a song. And so, yeah, there's a much bigger space for sincere, heartfelt music rather than being like, all right, like, I think a big goal of mine, even though I'm playing steel drums, I do a bunch of instruments, but the goal is that you should feel it in your spine. It should be danceable music that has a groove. In a lot of events, you might not want to bring Tears in Heaven into a working space, you know, because it is so emotional and it might change the vibe, you know. It probably will change the vibe.
Right, but the flexibility that the instrument allows is what's really cool and key, right? You can be the opening night on a cruise ship and get everybody in the party mood, but you can also be the instrumentation for a wedding or for a memorial service, something that really is more, you know, subdued, and the instrument guides us so easily to feel those heartfelt emotions. It's so soft and it's enticing and inducing, right? It doesn't interfere. It really just sort of lays under the atmosphere and just sort of, you know, cradles you, it feels like, you know. It's a really beautiful sound
the realist version is entering the flow state when you're performing
Mm-hmm.
and really being swept off your feet, where you're doing music and it's not you consciously thinking about it. You're channeling it. Is the best way to put it.
You are.
It's not the push of a button. You have to really get there.
The only way that you can really channel it is to remove your ego from the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do,
and that's exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a key that people, if they can get beyond that, they really understand what it is they're there to do and focus on that. It becomes easier, really,
Mm-hmm.
because then you take all the focus off yourself as well, and you stop getting so nervous and worrying about every little hair.
Yeah.
Like everybody's looking at every little hair. It's just not the way it works, right?
I think when you're up against the what is it, like the surface tension, I want to call it the flow state. It's like something you can almost feel. It's almost like a mirror, and you see how on your shoulders you carry so many things and baggage.
Mm-hmm.
You carry fear, and to enter the flow state, you have to say, I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to enter the flow state. And you have to be very okay with like looking at yourself vividly and saying, I have so many fears, and that's human, and it's that's why it's therapeutic and such a recharge, is because you come back and say, I did fly, I can fly, but it's music.
It's beautiful though that you see the humanity in it all, and Delilah is a very lucky little girl to have a father who is as grounded as you are.
Grounded. Nice. Thank you.
So, which leads me to wanting to ask you our Bollatta-FIDE 5.
Okay. I'm ready.
So we talked a little bit about when things don't go well. So what was the worst performance experience you've had? What happened to make it so?
The worst one. I've had sprinklings of things where I look back and I was like, I can't believe I did that. I have to say this wasn't the overall a bomb. I didn't bomb it, but I learned how to reflect, and I was at a celebration of life in a park, and I was running through my set list, and they asked me to like keep it fun, keep it light, like we're celebrating life, But I played Staying Alive, and I just didn't read the room on how that wasn't the right song to play, And it was, I looked around, read the room, and I'm like, what? This is kind of like my hit. What's going on? And like, of course, like, listen to the lyrics, like pay attention.
Right.
And it just didn't hit. And I really like had to learn that day, be like, this good vibing song has the ability to make someone actually really sad, given the context.
Yeah, pay attention to the lyric, right? Yeah. Right, to the song's intent.
And take it seriously. Like, it's not just another gig. This is a celebration of someone's life who passed away. And it's so many nudges like that make you feel the immense responsibility of providing music to events.
Have you ever met one of your heroes?
Yes.
I got to get on with the Bollatta-FIDE 5. I always talk about that.
That's a great question. Yeah.
Have you ever met one of your heroes? If so, who?
Humphreys McGee was my childhood favorite band, a jam band, and my bandmate, I was in a rock band, and we would play their style. His father-in-law got us to have lobster dinner when they came to Portland, Maine. He was texting the band. He's like, I'm getting you all lobsters. We're all going out, and I'm bringing my little kids, and they're in a band. And we just sat there across from like Jake Sininger and Chris Myers, the drummer. I don't know if you know Humphreys McGee, but I just couldn't believe it. And I wish it could happen now, because I was like, they're like, well, like Marvin Gaye, right? I'm like, no, never heard of Marvin Gaye.
Right.
And I'm like, what? No,
right.
If only I knew if I had written down the advice they were giving me at the time, it'd be much more heard now,
Yeah, for sure.
And they were great people. It wasn't a letdown or a pedestal fall. It was very wonderful. They're good people. So,
And your father arranged this?
My bandmate's father. Yeah.
What a cool dad.
Yeah, I know.
Very cool.
Wow. He really, he had that lobster ready to go. I am going to lure you out of that cave with some lobster.
I know. It's like, please come to Maine. We have lobster.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what do people say about you when you leave the room, Mr. Ben Betts? What do they say?
That's very interesting. After performing?
No, after you leave a room.
After I leave a room.
What are we going to say about you after you leave? No.
Yeah.
What do people say about you after? Or what would you like people to say about you? If you
what I would
know?
like.
Yeah.
I think about how I want to leave the state of the world in my life in general kind of does boil down to how I would leave a room. I do want to convey my sincerity most of the time. And I do my best to blend the two people that are my person and my performance character. That is a necessary part of doing this work, is I have to kind of split myself in two, because especially going by my own name, there's as a business, it's a failure of Ben Betts music is a failure of Ben Betts to his core. Similarly, when it's positive too, and you have to say like, that's that, and I'm this person when I go home. But I do still try to keep the bridge there, where it's like I'm sincerely doing this, and I care about people. I hope people feel that I do care about everyone.
So, the $1 million question: you receive an invitation to perform. From whom or from where does that invitation come?
Wow. As much as I enjoy playing intimate venues, like during COVID, I found a love for 2-person parties where they were heavily social distance, and just a husband and wife would hire me for their backyard.
Interesting.
And I was like, this is a first for
2
sure.
PPs.
Yeah.
Right.
2 tickets sold
2
out.
tickets sold. I love that idea.
Headlining this backyard.
That's something. I think we can capitalize on that.
Yeah.
2-person party.
I know. And
shoot, where were you during COVID? Dang.
I know. But I see the beauty of playing for a festival in a big open field and having a very large sound system to make real vibration happen. And I think that's a beautiful moment. And I've had the opportunity to be a part of a couple different things like that. And Lucidity is a festival in Santa Barbara that I got to play as my first one. And to feel like the actual subwoofers under the stage and all that, I'm like, the line arrays, I'm like, this is huge. This is a big sound system. And it gets bigger, it just keeps going up. And not for the sense of being that guy, but more for the sense of being like, I've been practicing for this for so long, and I am ready to convey something. It's not just, let's jam. It's like, I think like you do mature into knowing what the point of it all is. I don't have the answer, but I have some hints of how it makes me feel inside, and I want to convey that if someone is missing that.
I honestly believe now at this ripe old age that I am, that having something to say is really part of the motivation to perform and to continue to perform. If you don't feel like you have something to say or something to convey, then what's the point?
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of times where maybe I'm in a collaborative setting, or I'm at an event where I think the thought comes to mind a lot, where I'm like, I think the musician in me says that the best thing right now is a bit of silence. Like, I don't think steel drums will make this better.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear when you're jamming with others, because maybe it's just not the place for my music right now. And if you think that your music is good and it's on full blast 100% all the time, you have to have a reality check and know that there's so much beauty in reservation and waiting for your moment to play one note, Miles Davis style. Bah. Oh, and it's so powerful, and it's called impact. Impact is, you don't have impact without silence.
That's right.
And so you need that. You need to know that.
Sometimes more is said in the pauses.
Yes. Yeah. So it lets the listener fill the blanks and like, oh no, oh my God, what's happening? Something's coming. Anticipation. And that's free energy from them. They're giving you that anticipation, Yeah.
So what's one piece of advice that you've been given that you've carried with you and will continue to carry with you?
If you make a mistake, repeat it and make it look intentional in a musical sense. That's the best advice.
If you make a mistake, do it again.
Do it again.
Right.
Make it the motif. Actually, make it the thing that you remember from the song. Be like, and then make it rhythmic and say, look at this mistake. Like, doesn't it make you feel something? Does it make you mad? Does it make you does it make you mad at me? Does it make you mad at that wrong notes exist at all? You know? And I think that's so good advice. As long as you're not hurting people, it's great advice in most scenarios, you know?
Aretha Franklin was the most beautiful example of this. And she was singing and she hit a note and you went, ooh. And then she just improvised her way out of it. And you went, oh, was that note intentional?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. And she didn't let it stop her. She had such conviction in what she was doing and passion and a knowingness. And she owned it, got out of it, and it was better for it.
She also can just, oh, this note didn't work. I'll go to this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then
Exactly.
It's a perfect talent, you know.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, you have to remove your ego. It's a form of ego that you do remove, but you also have to just say, I make the rules right now. You know, I've set up the chord structure, I've set up the rhythm, and now the melody that I play on top of it is also mine, and I get to choose that, you know. And
right, you it's sort of a combination of being in control, which is comforting, but having the vulnerability, being vulnerable enough that you're approachable, that the control that you're asserting isn't felt. It's just felt like being guided, being taken, you know, which is the magic in what you're doing, right? It's you may be controlling the flow, but you're not controlling it for another agenda. It's for these people, for their enjoyment, for their motivation, right? So you're so attuned to them that they're in good hands and they feel it, right?
Yeah.
It's the key. It really is. It's beautiful. And honestly, it's what separates you from so many people and what makes you a perfect match for event jobs, because you will handle each one of them individually and understand that there will be different parameters, logistics, goals, objectives, you know, that you will take into consideration, which is key.
Yeah.
What was the most interesting musical request that you've had to play?
I get Candy Shop a lot. Candy Shop's totally doable. There's a lot of steel drum in hip hop.
Do you want to do that today?
It's not my best. I could do something better today.
Okay, yeah.
I appreciate you asking. That I did set myself up for that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I set you up.
Yeah,
I know. I set you up.
Yeah.
I'm not good.
That's one of those songs where I'll play the hook, and I'm like, do you want me to rap now? I don't want to rap.
No. I was kidding.
I know.
It's not my bag.
I know. It's there's so many far out songs, and technically, if like they come up and they say, like, give me some heavy metal, and they're not wrong. Like, steel drums together, they're 50 pounds of metal. You know, it's heavy metal, but I'm playing some relaxing music.
Wow.
You know,
That's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So I think we're at an end now, but we aren't finished yet. We are going to hear some of Ben Betts, and he is going to play us out today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this first episode of an artist interview that we're doing here on Bollatta-FIDE. And by the way, if you like this, please smash that like button. Don't forget to do that, and subscribe. We love subscribers. We love everybody, but if you subscribe, you'll show us that you love us, and you love Ben, and we all love Ben.
Yes.
Thank you, Anthony.
I've said enough.
Thank you, Alex.
Absolutely.
We'll be back.
A pleasure to be here. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you for joining us on Bollatta-FIDE.
If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And now on the steel drums, for your listening enjoyment, Ben Betts.
Hey, thank you for listening to Bollatta-FIDE.
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe.
And remember to leave us your questions or comments at bollatta.com/podcast.
Bollatta-FIDE is a production of Bollotta Entertainment.
Hey, that's a lot of Bollatta. Stay engaging.